What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Sideline Summit. I'm Antonio Perez, joined as always by Danny Cole, DC, UPenn's finest, Chris Coulter, CB, Culture Boy. We got another great episode for you guys today. We will be giving the ceilings and floors to every NBA team, and yes, it's really every playoff team. If you ain't in the playoffs at this race, your ceiling is Cooper Flag, as Danny said in the chat earlier. But we will also be doing a Would You Rather Evan Mobley edition. Chris has 5 names for us. Would we rather have this player or Evan Mobley? We'll be doing that after we do the ceilings and floors of every single team. Of course, before we get into anything, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those post notifications so you don't miss a single upload from any of the great shows on the channel. Audio listeners, leave a like, follow the show, 5-star review, download, all the good stuff, and then we can swing it to Danny for Summits and Plummets.
Yeah, my summit's going to be that we're going to Boston. I'll keep it quick. And my plummet is, the Sixers have not chosen what they want to do. They just don't have a plan. Yeah,
it's been that way for a while. Y'all just chalked it up to the process.
I don't know. I disagree with that a little bit,
but y'all haven't had a plan. Y'all have never had a plan. Y'all just
they had direction. They had direction at least.
Yeah, they had a final destination every year. That's for sure. The second round of the playoffs.
That's true. I'm not gonna fight that one.
We can swing it to Chris though, who got to see Kyrie in action tonight.
Yeah, definitely my plummet. I'm 1 for 4 on seeing LaMelo play now. I've been a 4 Hornets versus somebody game. I've seen him play once. So at this point, I'm almost.
Wait, he sat again? I thought you said you've seen him play.
Supposed to. Literally, he got scratched 29 minutes before the game, or 49 minutes before the game started. And some dude in this happy hour place we was at, he walked up to me. I had my jersey on. He was like, "Dude, he's not playing." I was like, "I had the underdog updates, but thanks for rubbing it in." So that's my plummet.
He was just looking out.
No, bro was sad though. He was like, "I waited all day to buy my tickets to see if he was playing." And I was like, "Well, welcome to my world, brother. Welcome." And my summit is that I'm winning in my fantasy basketball playoffs right now, first round. I'm up like 40. I had to pick a ball from the Hornets today. That's how deep in the trenches I am. And I dropped Nurkic to get him. So that just shows how deep the pool is. And I won't say what the pool is filled with, but you can tell it's not just regular water.
As long as you're not facing Wardell, Stephen Curry, I think you'll be all good.
What did Drake say? Blood is thicker than water. My iron is up.
Yeah, I think, bro, it's so ugly right now. It's people with I was actually looking for Musa Diabetes. Like I was looking for him. Look.
He's so funny.
Bro, he's one of my favorite bigs. But yeah, my bad.
He's good. He's good. Good big.
No. I'll say yeah.
Him or Evan Mobley though.
I can keep mine relatively short and sweet. Summit just been busy. Got to watch a couple high school games, couple college games. Those were pretty sick. The college game, I mean, D3 basketball, the atmosphere is good. When the teams are good, the atmosphere is good. I can definitely vouch for that. Summit, I just been driving a lot this week. Like, man.
It's Summit?
No, it's Plummet. Plummet for sure.
I've been driving. You get my pain now. You understand my pain. Why the traffic was always been my.
Your pain. Oh, shut up. The 3 drives I made this week are longer than your longest drive.
That's not
Titusville.
True.
That is true. How far is Titusville? I'm
talking about time wise.
How far is Titusville? How far is Titusville? How long does it take you to get there?
60. It's like 60 miles away.
How long does it take you to get there?
An hour minimum. Usually an hour 30.
Okay. Every drive I made this week was 2+ hours. Thank you. Shut up. Let's move on to the first segment of the day. Look at you always trying to one up somebody.
There's no difference between an hour and a half and 2 hours.
There's what?
Once the drive reaches an hour and a half, there's no difference.
Once the drive reaches an hour and a half, there's no difference. Yep. Didn't you just say that the drive was only an hour? No, I'm a whole hour ahead of you.
It's at least an hour. It's usually an hour and a half.
Okay, my drives are at the very least in an hour 55. I went to Hershey, I went to Central Dauphin, and then I went to Albright. My shortest drive this week was 145.
Beautiful.
So what are you talking about? I know your pain. You don't even know mine. Anyway, let's talk about something substantial. Wrong conference. But the Western Conference, we're giving a ceiling and floor to every team that is in the playoff race or play-in race, whatever, even though those playing teams are kind of going to be, you know where they're going to be. But let's start at the top of the Western Conference, which would be the Oklahoma City Thunder. We can start with Chris on this one. Ceiling and floor for the Thunder.
Floor is a first round exit, and I think the ceiling is, I would say, a Western Conference Finals appearance. That's what I would say.
Do you think the Thunder don't have the ceiling of an NBA champion?
No, and the only, not because I don't think they're not talented enough. I think they are. I think they do have enough talent, but I think they're going to have to pick a way to play, and that's either with the two bigs, or it's with one and then another one of Wiggins and/or one of those other wings. And I think just that inconsistency could be their downfall. Now, I think all things go well, they could make the finals, and I think they give the Celtics, if the Celtics make the finals, the other side the best run for their money. But yeah, I think West Conference Finals just for this year. I really wish they would have made the Cam Johnson move and got another shooter who can just be another big body who can play out there at the same time and not the sub a guy. But yeah, I would say West Conference Finals appearance.
That's very interesting, Danny. I'm curious to see, because mine was something completely different. I'm curious to see what you believe the Thunder's highs and lows are.
I think their low is first round exit.
Wow, both of you guys. Wow. Okay. Maybe I just need to reevaluate.
But I mean, I think their ceiling's an NBA champion. So.
Yeah, my ceiling is an NBA champion, for sure. But honestly, my floor was, and this could be off, I guess, expectation. Maybe I'm thinking like, okay, I expect you to bare minimum do this. Maybe that's why mine's a little messed up. But like bare minimum, they should see the Western Conference Finals. They are 9 games ahead of the second seed. They've beaten the 40 wins before 20 losses. They have one of the best point differentials in NBA history, one of the best net ratings in NBA history. So I guess based off expectation, I think they need to at least win 2 playoff series. I guess maybe from what I could truly say, I could see them getting a really bad matchup in round 2, potentially from an experience standpoint, like a Lakers or a Nuggets, a team like that, maybe even the Clippers. But I'll say floor is the second round. I'll say championship is mine. I'm just really shocked. The first round, it's just,
man.
I guess it would have to be who they meet in the first round.
They catch the Warriors in the first round.
If they catch who?
The Warriors.
We'll get to the Warriors. I have a weird, interesting feeling about them too, especially after that Wardell performance.
It's two teams. I think if they sing in the first round, that's why I said the floor. If the Warriors is 1, and like the Wolves, just because they pretty much are the same team, just built differently. It's one guy really, and then everybody else kind of helps out. They have J-Dub, but one guy that helps out. I think those two type of teams are the teams that will really give them trouble, especially the Warriors. Because if the Warriors play small, if they could put them at a disadvantage a little bit.
Yeah. I don't want to spoil my take on the Warriors, so I'll bite my tongue on that one, but I will say I agree. Let's move on to the Grizzlies, though. Ceiling and floor for the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, they're a weird one because, a team, they're never a title contender until you do it, of course. I've had to hear it for years. I think for me, the floor is a first-round exit, kind of similar to 2 years ago. They could easily just get a really bad matchup experience-wise, and that's all it takes. But I think my ceiling for them will be Western Conference Finals. I don't know about a finals. It's just something. Chris mentioned this last episode. If they fully give the keys back to Ja, maybe there's a world where they could slip into the finals because they have the necessary role players. The defense is really good, and Ja is just an absolute nuke on offense. I don't want to bank on hypotheticals, though. I'll say floors first round, and then they're at their best, they can make a Western Conference Finals appearance.
I think the floor is a first round exit, but I think the ceiling is a second round exit. I think that's the ceiling. And the reason why is because kind of what you talked about. If Ja has a ball in his hands, I think the team goes to West Conference Finals, but he doesn't. That's just what the actual facts are right now. And by committee doesn't work in the playoffs usually. Like you need contributions, but by committee teams, unless you're the '04 Pistons or the Spurs from back then, that's not happening. And especially with playing through, and no offense to Jaren Jackson, because Jaren Jackson has been better this year, a lot better. All NBA player for sure, I think, especially with all the injuries. But that's not going to get it. Not in the West. Maybe in the East they can bump into some teams. Maybe they beat the Cavs like that, but not these West teams. So I think their ceilings are first round exit. I think the ceiling is second round exit. Floor is first round exit.
Not mad at that. Not bad at that. Yeah, if you are just looking at how they are now.
Shout out
the way
Jalen
they're
Williams.
all- Yeah, Jalen Wells, rookie of the year for sure. He won't win it because the political and economic state of our world, but he should win it. Danny, what do you think about the Grizzlies?
I think they could be a title contender as their ceiling.
Okay. I like that.
I think their floor is second round.
So you're expecting a playoff series win from them.
Yeah. Coach Jenkins.
So
Get it done.
shout out Coach Jenkins. If we were going off the vibes of Coach Jenkins, I'm afraid they're winning the West. But
Yep.
I think that just kind of, if they're a second round floor, but OKC is a first round floor, you are saying you like the Grizzlies against the Warriors and Wolves better than you like OKC against the Warriors and Wolves?
Yep.
Okay. I think I can see. I think I could see the logic there. I think I just like the Thunder much better as a team, and then maybe I'm not taking matchups serious enough. I guess when trying to look at it through your lens, but I could get behind it a little bit. But a guaranteed playoff series win, just with that offense, could be a little shaky in my eyes. But we're kind of all around the same. I like that we are kind of all looking at things different. The team is, of course, always going to be interesting. The Denver Nuggets. Danny, you want to start with this one?
Yeah, I think their ceiling is a second round playoffs. I don't like this team at all this year.
Wow, we're just all over the place as a unit, which isn't bad. Of course, we like some diversity. We even have Danny's our DEI Greek man hire. Okay, but what do you think I'm assuming their floor it would be a first round exit.
Yeah, that's their floor. That's exactly what I'm expecting to happen.
Wow. Okay. Well, okay. My ceiling's NBA champion. When you have the best player in the world, along with a really good supporting cast, a team that's done it before, with a really good head coach, I think that's a really good recipe.
They don't have the best player in the world, though.
They do.
They don't have Shea Vontae.
Shea's been the best player this year. Curry has been better than LeBron in certain seasons. We've never called Steph Curry the best player in the world, though.
Well, LeBron's still the best then.
That's just not true. In 2016, Steph Curry was the best player in the world, but LeBron was still the best player. It's like Lamar was the best player this year. Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league. Now, sure, if you want to debate whatever after the fact, but they have the best player in the world, really good head coach, really good role players. Those role players have done it before. Their ceiling is an NBA title right back on the mountaintop. And I think their floor is second round. I think if they're matched up with the Clippers, I think they can handle them. Not I don't want to say with relative ease, especially if Kawhi's playing, but I think they can handle them. What could interest me, which I don't think the Lakers will fall that far, if they were to get in a first round matchup with the Lakers, I wouldn't be able to tell you who I think would win right now, but that last game is very telling. Literally, coaching alone could close that gap. And it's just so funny that the podcaster is the gap closer. It just reminded me of all the crazy quotes that Darvin Ham was pulling in those Lakers Nuggets series, man. It was some nutty stuff.
To tell us where he was running so we could stop it. He said,
"Yep, don't we all? Don't we all? Like life would be so much Chris. Life would be so much easier if you literally just gave me the playbook. Like,
I want him in Alcatraz.
anyway, we can swing it to you though for your Nuggets floor and ceiling.
This is gonna sound weird, but I think their floor is second round appearance.
Okay, that's what I had.
But I think their ceiling is the Western Conference Finals champ. Finals appearance. Finals appearance. I don't think they beat those teams in the. It's two teams I don't think they beat in the East. Now, if one of those other teams make it that I'm not thinking of, then maybe they beat them. But yeah, I think the finals appearance is their ceiling. I think second round exit is their floor.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
I think Christian Brown and Peyton Watson. Brown's been good lately, but I think they need one more guy. I think not to score 20 points. They need either Strother or Watson. They need one of those two to do something like consistently, and I think they'd be very dangerous.
I could definitely see that. This next team, don't want to like put too much on them because I mean they're certainly having a great season, but the Houston Rockets, they can find themselves in a little bit of a like last year's Orlando Magic, Grizzlies 2 years ago, Timberwolves a couple years ago. I have the floor as a first round exit. Their absolute max ceiling is a playoff series win, so a second round exit. And I think I guess they have to have a little bit of upside. They could get a good draw, but it's just an inexperienced team. Fred VanVleet being your championship veteran is a little different than Drew Holiday being your championship veteran. So that's what I got for Ime's crew.
I kind of agree with that. I love Ime and I love what he does with the team, but it's kind of hard to see him go much further.
Yeah, at some point, talent. The coaching is great. He will win a lot of coaching matchups, but
yeah,
I think their floor. Yeah, first round exit.
Yeah,
Ceiling's Western Conference Final appearance for me.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's one more series win.
The reason I say that is because not only Ime, but they have what translates defense and athletes. No matter if you're hitting shots or not, if you can defend and get up and down the floor, you have a chance in the playoff series. And coupling that with coaching, and Fred VanVleet's not efficient, but he does make big shots. That's what he does do. And all you need in an 88 to 90 game is a three, and you won 91 to 90. And we've seen it happen in the playoffs so many times. I'm not saying they're going to stop people. I mean, hope people score 90 every game, but I really like them as a defensive team, 1 through 5, including Sengun being way better on defense this year, which people haven't given them a lot of credit for. So I think that's why I give them up there. I think they've got the same ceiling as the Thunder in that sense. They don't have Shea, but they have. I would take maybe 3 of the next 4 players on the Rockets team over the Thunder. So in my eyes, I would.
I think that's interesting. My
who would you say, Sengun or J-Dub? Just player to player, not position. Just player to player.
It's J-Dub if that's my second man, Sengun if I'm starting a franchise.
I'm with that.
Imagine Sengun is your second with Shea. With Chet still, because you still have rim protection. Just walk with me now. 18, 11, and 5 now.
It's starting to hurt my head because Sengun is such a hub.
He's different.
He's been a lot better off. I don't know.
Hey man, it's a conversation.
Yeah, no. It certainly is. Those are 2 great young players. It's kind of like would you rather start your franchise with a player who is the ball in his hands all the time? He's a number 1 option, but he never wins, or like Jaylen Brown. It's just like Jaylen Brown, great player, not a 1 though. So
yeah, my point with Sengun is like in the playoffs, if you are struggling, it's easy to dumping into a big to get a bucket, a foul, or run your offense through that. Especially when you have guys like Jalen Green, like Amen Thompson, a lot of athletes. I think that's easier to get your offense rolling than a Thunder team if you have to, because a lot of that's going to be one-on-one and breakdown. Which in the playoffs you get more leeway with fouls, you get more physicality and stuff like that. That's what I'm thinking.
My only worry with them is, and I think Ime will be able to work around it, is Amen Thompson is such a special player. And in the playoffs, what really matters is defense and three-point shooting. He plays defense just about as well as any guard, wing, in the NBA flat out. So he'll be able to kick it on that side of the floor. I wonder if his inability to stretch the floor could come back to bite him, but he's so good at everything else on offense that the more I think about it with him and his brother, it's like they're really not going to be a problem because
You
they're
might make them a screener.
exactly like it's sure you don't have to respect his shot, but he can
Yeah.
drive, he can pass, he can get up and down dunker spot. It's
Short roll, man.
yeah, like if you wouldn't question Zion in a playoff series, I wouldn't question these boys either because they're even more talented of playmakers, better defenders. Zion's a legit truck. Had his first triple-double tonight as well. Let's move on. Maybe the most interesting team in the Western Conference, Los Angeles Lakers. I had their ceiling as an NBA Finals appearance. A championship would all be on luck of the draw. I'm just going to go with an appearance, though. And I think their floor, I'm going to be honest, I think it's Western Conference Finals. And this could all be a little bit premature, small sample size, yada, yada. They probably won't have the serviceable big you'd prefer for a deep run playoff team. I don't really care. They have the two best playoff performers essentially of the last 7 years. Every time Luka's in the play, I think Luka is just behind Michael Jordan for playoff scoring average. LeBron James is the all-time leading playoff scorer by like double the next dude. So,
Yeah.
And on top of that, phenomenal playmakers. You can't double them. Guys are making shots. Vibes are at all-time high. Oh, and I forgot. They have a third playmaker named Austin Reeves who was snubbed from the playoff games or the All-Star game. So I got high expectations for them, and maybe it's a little unfair. Maybe I'm like, oh, well, you have LeBron. Here's your expectations. But I believe in this team a lot.
Yeah, I think this team's feeling is to win an NBA championship. To be completely honest, with two of the best top 10 players in the world, that should be their ceiling and their expectation.
I think that's fair. And it's so weird because LeBron and AD were also two top 10 players, you could say. But it's just like, yeah, it's no slight at AD. I mean, like, every team in the NBA could use Anthony Davis. Who wouldn't want Anthony Davis? But it's just because I guess, Luka and LeBron were a much better fit than casual Twitter could have ever guessed. Because LeBron can't play off ball, said the geeks who have never picked up a basketball in their life. So
who would have thought two playmaking wings that make plays for others and score 30 points a game can't work together? Oh, crazy. And lucky for you, Tom, LeBron and unfair expectations, that goes in the sentence together. That's just what it is. That's who he is since 18.
Yeah.
So lucky for you, you're good.
That's what he's been dealing with since he was 15 years old.
So he had that briny fro. Yuck. But anyway.
He said, I wanted to be like Kobe, so I grew my hair out. Boy, if you need to copy Kobe's other cut, go bald.
That boy Briny said, yeah, I'm watching Luka for his patience. Why? No, you're not. Also, I think their floor is a second round playoff series exit. I think the ceiling is a championship. And I think the reason why I say that isn't just because of the Luka and Bron thing, but it kind of is because of the Luka and Bron thing. If it's one thing that works in the playoffs, if you don't have elite shooting or elite big, because I watched the Raptors win with Bismack Biyombo. I did watch that. The one thing that works is if you have two mid-post players who can also pass the ball. I mean, a post player who can pass the ball. They have two. So now and then you can't double either of them because you're just going to get punished. And I think when the game slows down in the playoffs, you want one of those guys that got two. So that's my eyes for. And I think the way JJ thinks basketball, the way he's shown he thinks basketball this year, I think those non-shooters and almost non-playable type of players, he's going to find a role for them. Same way I just kind of talked about Ime. He's going to find a way to make them be not usable, but like effective in the sense that you can't just leave them or, you can't just forget about them. So, yeah.
A little, and yeah, you're a little bit, I would say a little bit more realistic with the floor. They're an injury away from like they can't compete with nobody.
They're a rolled ankle away from being the Mavs, either LeBron or Luka before Brunson, like the DSJ days, and shout out DSJ, but those days.
Yeah. Chris, we'll roll right back with you with the other LA team the Clippers, who, they could probably play the most hypotheticals in the world with them if Kawhi is healthy, if James Harden hamstring holds up, if the bench players are playing. What's your floor and ceiling for the Clippers?
They very sneaky, bro. I have them. My ceiling is the NBA championship, and I know that sounds crazy over the Thunder. Like I said, when the game slows down, you got a maestro who can control everything. And if Kawhi is out there, even if he's not, a maestro control everything with an elite pick and roll partner in Zubac, and then Norman Powell, and all the defense you want, and Ben Simmons.
He said, and Ben Simmons.
Hey, bro, I'm the biggest Ben Simmons fan you'll find, and I think he's been playing pretty well this year.
Hey, LeBron, you're good.
Yeah, I want
We are believing in Ben Simmons in 2025.
He needs to be in a cell next to Darvin Ham, actually. Both of them in the same one. But I think their ceiling is a NBA championship. I think their exit. I think their floor is a first round exit. And the only reason I say that, I know that's very far on the spectrum, but as you said before, they are one more injury away from just not competing for real. Like if James or Norm or Zoo, like one of them go out, they could be done. But healthy, I can see them win championship. I think they match up well with Celtics, Cavs. However you want to play it, they can play it. So I think that there'd be a matchup problem, or like they'd be matchup fit for everybody.
Dude, could we say someone doesn't have a floor?
I mean, if they don't, I guess you could just chalk it up to like first round exit. Like if you're unsure, like everyone's susceptible to just losing in the first round, especially the Clippers. They do it a lot.
The Suns do that a little more, but
I'll keep mine, short and sweet. Floor, first round exit. I have their ceiling as a conference finals loss, I would say.
Yeah.
Conference finals appearance. Do you have the same thing, Danny?
Yeah, I'm more so
Somewhere
a loss before the conference finals. They could go win. I don't think they're going to make conference finals. I don't think they're good enough.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair. We can move on to the next team, who might even be more fun to talk about than the Lakers, is the Warriors, who just came off an electric game against the Magic. Paolo and Steph Curry were just throwing haymakers at each other all night. Steph Curry, they made like a great comeback. He obviously had the big 50-point game. For Golden State, I have it a little less floor, a little lower floor than the Lakers. I have a second round exit out of them as a floor. And as someone who has been traumatized by the two, Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry, they can win a championship. I know they can win a championship. Steph Curry has turned, like, it looks like he's the fountain of youth since Jimmy's gotten there. Having to respect a guy like that, and it's kind of brought Draymond back too. And Kuminga's only gonna come. They're only getting help. Yeah, sign me up. Sign me up
all day.
I'm all for Golden State. I really am. Just don't sign them up too much though. I don't need to see them in the finals. I'm good. I know the Celtics are losing if they see them. That's a promise.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I think they're a second round exit floor team. I think they're a finals champion too. Not think they're going to win, but I think that's their ceiling, like finals ring. I think it's just because they have big time players. And it's been my reason for a lot of these teams why I give them the higher ceiling is just, bro, playoffs is big time. Finals, West Conference Finals, East Conference Finals, that's big time. And when you have two guys who can do it and who've shown they can do it on the biggest stages, it gives me hope that you can do it. So, and like I said, I think Kuminga coming back is very important because that makes them even more versatile than they are right now. They could really go small. Like I said, a team like the Thunder sees them. They go Drake, Kuminga, Jimmy, keep podcast dude off Moody and Curry. Now that's something. You got to deal with that. So I get same thing as you.
Yeah. Danny, what are your thoughts on Golden State?
I think they could win a championship if best, like Chris said, all the best players. If not, I think they could easily go out in the second round. So second round championship.
Yeah, we're about all the same. And here's the thing. I also want to clarify ceiling. When we say ceiling, we'll say ceiling NBA championship. That is like absolute best case scenario. Now, mind you, not every team is going to have the best case scenario. So, no, we aren't going to have 86 teams in the NBA Finals. We're saying for this team's best case scenario. Not everyone's getting that. And the point of this is that other teams will prevent other teams from reaching their ceiling. So, just wanted to clarify that. Timberwolves. I have a first round exit floor. I have a Western Conference Finals appearance as their ceiling. I feel, and it's not so much the current roster's fault. I think if they had Cat still, I think if they literally just had last year's roster, I could pin them as championship contenders. But this just isn't the same team. But since they made the run last year, and Anthony Edwards clearly is a playoff riser from what we've seen in his young career, I'm willing to give them benefit of the doubt at the very least. So that's my thoughts on them.
Yep, I got first round exit as a floor, and I got second round exit as the ceiling. I don't think this team's good enough to really contend when they can get past one of those first teams if they get a good draw. That second round, when it's like really all the good teams left on both sides, for the most part, can get a little tricky for them because you can either you play Gobert off the floor or he hurts you to where him being on the floor is a negative sometimes in the playoffs. And I can see that happening, especially in the West. Like, imagine they play the Rockets and they put Amon on Gobert.
Yeah.
Then what?
And then, dubious handle is always going to be a bad play in the playoffs.
And then what's the pick and roll?
He can't play. It's so bad.
And then when Gobert has to guard Amon Thompson, when Ime puts him in action, then what? You have to play him off the floor, right? And then now
you just saw what Asar did to one of the best defenders in the NBA last night. What you think? Best perimeter defenders. I'll put it that way because Gobert is still one of the best defenders. But you bring the deer out into the headlights.
You get ugly out there. You heard what Jared Allen said. The lights were literally too bright.
Jared Allen's a legend for that, bro. I can't believe he said that.
That's so funny.
Yeah, Danny, what's your thoughts on the T-Wolves before we get?
I think we saw a little preview of what we could see of Timberwolves from last year. So that's my thoughts of what we see as a ceiling. Probably conference finals appearance. As a floor, I think first round exit because we know the Timberwolves worst case that they could easily just be bounced in the first round.
Yeah, and then for the next team, it's the Mavericks. I kind of have the same thing. I think maybe a finals appearance if I could really rely on Anthony Davis's health. But like an abdomen, not even Anthony Davis aside, an abdomen injury is no joke. It's just, especially the way basketball is played, post ups. You're getting a lot of torso shots. You got to reach. You got to, extend your torso for rebounds. What Anthony Davis has to do specifically, he's just at risk for a re-injury, but I do hope he's healthy. But I'll call it the same as the Timberwolves. Not as derogatory, though, considering what they're going through. Do y'all have anything different for Dallas or?
Dallas ceiling, I would say, is finals appearance. I think their floor would be second round exit.
Okay, so at this rate as the 9 seed, they would win. You think they win their 2 playing games, and then they could be.
They get in the playoffs. I think is tough for that.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah,
because I think that gives them time to play meaningful games when they are healthy. Whenever they're back, the games matter immediately. Like when everybody's back, it matters immediately. So there's no time taking the games off. So you're forming that chemistry easily. And it's like people been saying on any social network, you got AD at the 4. That's game changing, just because of what it allows him to do offensively and defensively. So, and I'm a big KD AD fan. It could be a little homer in me for AD, and it could be just Kyrie's one of my favorite players, but I believe in him too.
Danny, how about you for Dallas as the last serious team in the West?
It's tough. I don't see this team going anywhere. I think their first round exit without Luka. I think we saw Luka had to make the big shots and step up. I don't know if I said this earlier a few weeks ago. I don't know if AD will play enough games down the stretch for him to be fully in line with the team. So I think their first round exit, no matter what.
I think that could be fair. I think that could be fair. I'm a little bit more on Chris's side with like, if they can get into the dance, then we're gonna dance.
Let them boogie. I agree. Look, if AD is healthy, the team's potential is anything, right? But
yeah,
I
kind of
don't
have
know.
to give them the same benefit as like the Clippers, because they have Kawhi. AD is a lot better off than Kawhi when it comes to injuries. Like those two are not in the same boat. I know people
I
make
I
it seem
trust
that way.
Kawhi a lot more in the playoffs.
I don't, honestly.
As an elevator, as a team elevator.
Sure, but Anthony Davis is 1,000% going to be more available, and he's in, especially in a Western Conference playoff matchup. Anthony Davis is going to mean a million times more because he's covering Anthony Davis, Alperen Sengun, Jaren Jackson Jr., Chet Holmgren, and Isaiah Hartenstein.
I get what you're saying.
I need Anthony Davis. The last two times they've played the Nuggets, which has been their last two playoff series, I'm not afraid to say he was the best player on the court for the Lakers. And those two series featured LeBron James. I'm not afraid to say that Anthony Davis was better.
Austin Reeves. I'm kidding.
Austin Reeves has his games. We remember that game against the Grizzlies, though. Yeah, I don't know about the Kawhi one. That boy has played 3 games in 86 years. And then
he living off that Toronto appearance for real. Y'all keep him in the book. And I'm not
be honest. It's legendary, though.
If that shot rims out, Joel's not crying. None of this happens.
Is this the dagger? What an iconic!
Oh!
And then maybe Kawhi ended Joel's career.
I don't know if you've seen Norman Powell was like, that shot's not supposed to go in. It's like that shot's like 1 in a billion.
I agree.
It kind of is. He made the exact same shot earlier in the year, which is crazy.
Maybe ended Joel's career, bro.
No, and he walked on the shot too, Chris. He traveled.
Of course he traveled.
Oh my God.
He did. But you know who else traveled? Ray Allen traveled on this get behind the line. And that got my goal.
Yeah, he did.
You know what else happened in that game 7, Danny? And B shot 5 for 18.
You know what? That entire series, and B was the only one with a positive plus minus. I'm not trying to hear it.
Plus minus. He shot 42% from the field as a 7-footer. He is pathetic. He was pathetic that series. I don't care about no plus minus. Paolo had a minus 13 tonight, and they lost by 4. I'm not trying to hear that Paolo was the reason they lost. I'm not doing it. Anyway, we can all agree that Kings and Suns are boo-boo.
Yep.
Yeah. And then, Blazers, Spurs, Pelicans, Jazz. I hope you like Ace Bailey, Cooper Flag, or the Harper son. Let's move on to the East. We can get these lower teams out of the way. Wizards, Hornets, Raptors, Sixers, Nets, Bulls, Hawks. I mean, the last 3 could probably be like maybe playing champs, but so ceiling would be first round exit, and then the rest of them go play capture the flag. So that really just leaves us with our top 8 playoff teams. We can start at the top. Cleveland Cavaliers.
NBA Finals champion.
I agree. Agreed.
This team has every bit of it. Their floor, though, I think is a second round exit. I don't think they're locked to go to the conference finals.
I think that's fair.
The East gets wicked. The East gets wicked is what I'll say.
I'm actually the opposite. I think that the conference is so weak that I think they'll get the Heat as it lines up right now. They'll get the Heat in the first round. They'll get the Pacers or Bucks in the next round.
The Bucks could give them a run for their money.
I think the Cavs are the most equipped team in the entire NBA to stop the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis wall is very real in the playoffs. They got 2 guys who, they packed that thing too, as one may say.
He said they packed that thing too. Oh my God.
Giannis to Evan Mobley passed the torch series. Let's go.
That's so funny.
We need that. Yeah, but I would say their floor is I'll agree. I'll say second round, just in case that Giannis is a top 3 player on earth.
I mean, they could wind up drawing like the Knicks in the second round. Could get wicked.
Oh, so they are then they'll be going to the conference finals. because Knicks ain't stopping nobody.
I know they're
Knicks gonna stop a nosebleed right now. If the nosebleed had a top 3 record in the NBA, bro, they can't do it. Chris, what are your thoughts on the ceiling floor?
Second round exit should be the floor. It's my floor. I think the ceiling is East Conference Finals though. I don't see this team going to the finals though. I don't see them.
So
yes, 7 games here.
Any team that is stopped at the conference finals, are we just assuming they're losing to the Celtics?
Yeah.
No, I just don't think they're. We'll get to the Celtics, but
well, they're literally next. If you just want to pick up from there,
but I think Danny has to go right for Cavs.
No, Danny already did his. We had the same one.
Cavs.
Well, yeah. I have I think the Celtics floor should be these conference finals, and that's what I have it as. I think they should be a finals, and their ceiling is obviously finals champion. But I think at the end of the day, at the least, the Celtics should be in these conference finals. Like they should be. That's my thought. And I think any team that goes up there, I think the team that gives them the best run is I think the Knicks and Cavs, like maybe, but I just don't see it, bro. I don't see them. I don't see it. So I think that the Celtics should run through the East. Maybe not as easy as last year, but they should get through it. The teams in the Magic is probably the team that probably plays the Celtics the hardest. They probably won't make it to them to be able to even see them for real. Or the Heat.
We see them round one though.
Just because the Heat they just turn on their sliders when they play the Celtics, so it'll be interesting. Even if it's 5 games.
Oh my God, and they got Andrew Wiggins now.
Yeah, it would be interesting, but like I said, and I think it's just the teams that, and this may sound crazy for a team that just won the finals, you have to out-tough them. And I think the Magic are one of those teams that just have the bodies to do so, just to beat them up over some games. I don't think the Cavs and Knicks can do that because they can't go that deep into their benches and sustain that. So that's my thought on them. What's up, two?
Danny, what's your thoughts on Boston?
I think the Celtics are the best team in the NBA. And the Celtics should be favorites to win the finals. And yeah, I think that it's pretty clear what should be going on. The Celtics are going to win the finals. Their floor is the conference championship appearance.
Yeah, and I had to say this earlier with the Drake tweet. It's like I want to say this without sounding like a stan, but I promise, just take the fact I'm a Celtics fan out of your head. I promise I'm spitting. With the way this team is constructed and the way that Jason Tatum is playing basketball now, I don't think the run is as much like Jason Tatum is like the modern prototype to Miami LeBron. He's not playing that well. That's not what I'm saying. But that's the type of basketball he is playing. The Swiss Army, 6'8", two-way, just messiah of a basketball player. I think because he's bought into that style, how good this team is, I could see this team and Jason Tatum going on a little bit of a LeBron-esque run where, you know what, we might see them in the finals for a couple straight years. They're not saying they're going to win it every year because the West, is still really good. But we could be looking at like the conference finals. That's the Celtics Invitational. I think it's been for some time, and it should be that going forward. So my floor is a conference finals appearance. I really want to say finals loss, but out of respect for, I want to respect what the Cavs are doing. This is clearly a different iteration of the team, and Giannis is still in the conference. He's the best player in said conference. So yeah, I'll go with you guys said, and then their ceiling, I can get real specific with them, is a final sweep, but they'd have to draw like they wouldn't sweep the Thunder, they wouldn't sweep like the Lakers. They could probably sweep like the Grizzlies or something. But let's move on to more important teams. The Knicks.
More important teams than the Boston
like this.
Celtics.
We're just so tired of talking about who cares about the Celtics.
And man, all I'd say is if the Celtics go on a run, you'll probably be a happy person because that means that the green teams are correlated with one another. The Eagles probably go back to 5 Super Bowls in a row.
So Jalen goes back to back. It's getting dark.
No, if Jalen wins, Jalen goes to 5 straight Super Bowls and goes 3-2 in them.
All right, dude, what are we doing? All right,
If Jalen Hurts is
get back to
just half the if man Joe Burrow is, then we're good. Y'all are good.
can we get to the
Y'all are
Knicks?
good. For what?
The Knicks.
Yeah,
The Knicks.
come on, man. We like I said this about the Knicks last week. They're missing the heart. They have heart, but they don't got the heart. They got
Not my
Josh.
boy
They don't got the heart.
Can we at least give them a floor and a ceiling?
Floor, first round exit, ceiling,
Okay.
each conference finals appearance.
I agree.
And the only reason I say that is because they are scoring well. But in the playoffs, I have like 4 grains of rice amount of faith in Michael Bridges, Anunoby, and Hart to give me 50 points as a trio. And that's what they're going to need because Brunson and Towns are going to give you the other 55 to 60. You need some more points. And I don't believe in that.
As it lines up right now, they'd see the Pistons in the first round.
Cade, welcome to everybody.
Cade recreating LeBron's 20 straight points in the Palace.
Malik Beasley greater than Daniel Gibson. Talk soon.
Daniel
Gibson. Shout out Booby though. Shout out Booby.
Danny, do you have a similar floor ceiling? Do you have their ceiling maybe a little lower?
Floor, first round exit, ceiling, conference finals appearance.
I like that. Next team's the Pacers. I have the same thing. And I'm really only giving them conference finals appearance because I just want to respect what they did last year. Last year was kind of a little bit due to injuries. And, I don't kind of want to say it's only because of that, but it contributed a little bit. You still got to win the basketball games. So I'll give them a conference finals appearance. I mean, if Halliburton's starting to turn it on the right way, and then we talked about Ben Mathurin. We're all big believers in him. So I'll give them the respect. Maybe they don't even deserve that. Maybe their ceiling's really second round, but they're in good graces with me. They sent us to the finals. So
I have meant the same as I have for the Timberwolves. First round exit is their floor. Second round exit is their ceiling. To me, I don't think this team's that good. And I think it's because even though I'm a fan of Nimbar, if he can't, I don't think he can recreate what he did last year. He will have to for them to get past the second round, and I just don't know if he's going to have the ability to because Mathurin's back. A lot of injuries, aren't there for him to even be able to have that time. So, and I don't believe in Tyrese Halliburton. So that's my point too.
And Danny, what'd you have for the Pacers?
Yeah, I have the Pacers pretty simply being a first round exit. I'm not a big fan of what they got going on this year, but I think their ceiling is winning one series.
Okay, I think that's fair. Now let's go to the Bucks, who again a little bit similar to the Lakers, Warriors, made deadline moves, not necessarily the same team you've seen all year. My floor for them would be a second round exit. I expect them to at least get out of a series alive if they're healthy. And my ceiling is an NBA championship because I just respect Giannis so unbelievably much. And I like Kuz as a dirty work 3 much more than I like him putting up 20 shots a game. This is a Giannis Antetokounmpo compliment to the highest degree. Top 3 player in the world. I think he's at the similar juice to Jokic to carry a team to a championship if all the pieces are right, which I think they are, but we'll see how they match up against some of the elites.
I got them similar. I got them as a second round exit floor NBA champion ceiling. Same reason, like I said, I think we got 2 great players like that, especially 2 that can literally just take over the game by playing pick and roll. If you really wanted to, you can kind of really just play 2-man. I think it makes them dangerous, especially in this East where I think they have the 2 best players on their team if they're not playing the Celtics. Like 2 best players on the floor most of the time in the East. So yeah.
Danny, what are your thoughts on Milwaukee? Yeah, like Chris said, they got the 2 best players in the East. A lot of the 2 best players in the East. With Giannis, like 2 best duo. But I think this team's a second round exit. I think their floor is the second round, and I think their ceiling is the second round.
So you were just saying that they're
the Sixers.
Yeah, okay. 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 That's one way to put it. I'm not mad at it. I mean, it's if you just look past like that they have one of the best players in the world, you could just look at this roster and chalk it up that. Next team, while I really don't want to do it because like I really do like the Detroit Pistons. I'll put it this way: floor is a first round exit. Best case scenario, they win a playoff series and they go out in the second round. However, though, I'm just going to stamp it early. They're title contenders next year. I think they're title contenders next year. I think Cade Cunningham is going to take the leap. We talk about Paolo being one of the most disrespected number one overall picks. Cade's right there with him. We don't talk. Now we're talking about. I hope y'all seen this. The Paradox is his nickname.
Yo,
the anomaly crossed the paradox.
You ready for Zion Williamson to the Pistons?
Look, man, they're contenders. I think they're contenders next year. This year, a little too early. Let's get that experience. If we win a playoff series, oh my goodness, we're so ready for next year. But
they probably take a good team to like 7.
Yeah, like last year's Magic. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Something like that. Like if they took the Knicks to 7, not only should the Knicks be heavily disappointed, but the Pistons are like, yeah, like that was great. Until next year when Dean Wade says to Cade, keep shooting those mid-range. And the cycle restarts.
Bro, I would if Paolo better than me, bro. I would have been like, bro, why are you talking to me? Like you're not even good.
I wish the Magic won tonight so that Paolo could tweet out, look where this mid-range getting me.
Yeah, but Paolo better than me. I would have been like George with an S to talking to me. Hey, bro,
Yeah,
please, go talk to like Jonathan Isaac or something like that's more your speed. Go talk to an 8th man. Are you crazy?
What do y'all think for the Pistons?
First round exit floor, unfortunately. Second round ceiling, but it's a tough 7 games with whoever.
The toughest 7. I hope it's Boston because I know they give Boston a wake up call.
No, I don't want it to be Boston. I want it to be Cleveland because if it's a tough, I want it to be the Knicks. Because if it's a tough 7 with the Knicks, they win that maybe.
Well, they're lined up to play the Knicks in the first round right now.
Oh, well, yeah, they get the Knicks out of that first round actually. So yeah, definitely floor, definitely getting them out of there.
The Knicks on that. They had no respect in the Knicks.
Let's
got
move to the
Magic though. As we were just talking about Paolo and friends, I actually have a similar one, and it's more so about an injuries thing. I think next year, again, entirely different conversation, but with Jalen Suggs, with the quad and back injury, Caldwell Pope, apparently he's not good at basketball anymore. And then with Franz and Paolo playing a combined 10 basketball games together at this point. Again, first round exits the floor. I hope they can win a playoff series. That's kind of just where they sit right now. But I think they would give Boston probably the toughest series they've seen in 2 years. And they've played Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving in the finals, and they've played Giannis in a playoff series. I think this Magic team would give Boston the biggest run for their money.
Wouldn't Jimmy Butler be the hardest Celtics team they faced?
Well, I guess if we're going technically in 2 years, then sure, he beat Jason Tatum on a rolled ankle.
Kayla Murray? No, I'm kidding. Let me not.
Yeah, because we can go down the rabbit hole about your team.
Let me not.
But,
that's not my team anymore. He's not on my team anymore.
Look at you. Look at you. Jumping ship. Look at you.
That's not what I'm saying.
That's what you do. 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 I haven't seen you post something about Red Sox in years. That's what you do. You jump ship.
Caleb Martin's not on my team anymore. I posted about Jaren Duran last year.
I'm pretty sure he did something like a really stupid. I actually don't like him.
He did. Yeah,
I did. Yeah, of course you would support him because you're that kind of person. But let's talk about the Magic. Let's not talk about Danny being a bigot. Chris, what's your ceiling and floor for the Magic?
Orlando Magic.
Similar for the Orlando Magic. Similar to the Pistons. unfortunate floor out of there in the first round, losing to a bad team like I don't want to say the Knicks again, but bad team. No, I'm just kidding. Losing the first round would be their floor to me. I think their ceiling's a second round. Really, really tough series. I think it's just lack of scoring, bro. They just got lack of scoring. And like I said, when the game slows down, we saw it. Even though Paolo's special, Franz is really, really good. I don't think they're at that point where they can just be playoff 30-point per game scores. And I think that's what this current iteration of the Magic will need. So I think they a hard second round exit for the ceiling.
Danny, you're kind of in the same boat, or maybe?
Yeah, I think their ceiling is definitely a second round, like a hard second round exit. Like this team just doesn't have they don't got the juice to level them up past that. So that's my opinion on the Magic. I think
31, 16, and 6 just hit the final 7 points on their head.
Beast.
7 in a row to end the game. Well, there's still
Beast.
a minute left, but this thing over. Yeah.
Some would say the best ever.
The best ever. Don't have a question. You know better. But and always how it seems when it's sewed together.
Sewn together,
it's not how it like the seams like on your shirt, how it seems when it's sewn together.
So
I'll let that last line breathe. It'll take a second to get it. Come on.
What are you, Jared McCain?
I've been doing that longer than him. You know me. I was really
Chris. I don't know if you've seen his TikToks. Yo, Chris, Jared McCain. We love you on this podcast.
Elite TikTok.
He'll give you a study guide on Drake lyrics. He's like, hold up.
You have to listen.
Hype for the moment, then start to backpedal. He'll talk to you through it like a YouTube math teacher.
Yeah, bro. His TikToks are elite.
Dude, Jared's the best, man. And then the last team, I don't know if we actually want to give true, well-earned ADP energy towards this team, but the Miami Heat.
First round exit ceiling, first round exit floor. I see them doing absolutely nothing until they stop Terry Rozier. They are doomed.
Losing in 4, losing in 5.
Losing in 4 or a hard 7. I'm talking about but I will say this: Tyler Hero has been better than he was last year, and I think Tyler Hero's elite offensive player. I really do think so. But I think this team's like a year away from being back into Heat contending time. I think they have some really nice pieces right now, but I think they need to find out the point guard spot so they can really put Tyler back at the 2 and run that Bam, Ware, Wiggins. I like that defense-wise. And they just need one more piece, and I think they'll be back. Yeah. Not this year, though. Unless they put the Knicks.
It always comes down to the Knicks.
You play the Knicks. You got a chance, bro. You got a chance.
I don't see this Heat team going anywhere. I think their floor and ceiling is first round exit.
Yeah. And I'm kind of all the same. So we can move on to our final segment of the episode. The Would You Rather Evan Mobley edition. Chris has 5 names for us. And, we have to decide who would you rather take. And this is something we didn't talk about before. I'm going to give Danny the choice. I'm just going to pick who's better right now. That's all. I'm not starting a franchise with anybody. Who is better, this player, that player, and I'm just going to flat out pick who I think is better. I'm not taking potential into account at all. Just want to give at least my side of the rules on it. Danny, if he's if it's a starting a franchise thing for you, you can do that, but I'm just going with that.
Yeah.
We're ready when you are.
I bet. So would you rather Evan Mobley or first up, Jaren Jackson Jr.?
Evan Mobley.
Ooh, I'm gonna take Mobes. I'm gonna take Mobes. That's a really good, especially with the year Jaren Jackson's having. I'm gonna take Evan Mobley though.
Yeah, same. Would you rather Evan Mobley, Alperen Sengun?
Sengun.
I would take Sengun as well.
Based on some upside.
I like
well,
that.
yeah. I'll take Sengun. I think Sengun's has just had the better year.
That's what I had to. I had Sengun. Okay, would you rather Evan Mobley, Chet Holmgren?
Give me Mobes.
I'm going
Give me
Mobley.
Mobes. Mobley's certainly been better this year.
I went Mobley. Now, would you rather Evan Mobley? This is gonna be interesting. Evan Mobley or Cat?
I'll say Cat.
And Mobley.
Cat. I'm gonna go with Cat. I think Cat's had the better year.
This is
Are we
why-
doing year or like you taking?
I just
them for,
explained. I literally just had a minute-long explanation as to what I was doing. I'm picking who's better. If you want to pick based on who you'd rather start your franchise with, that's on you. But
It's not about franchise, but like
Yeah, whatever your reasoning, Danny,
I'm
is
just
valid.
I'm just
But
picking
whatever
who's
reason you
better.
got or who you pick
I'm
is
just
valid.
picking who's better, not whose career I'd rather have or whatnot. Cat's been better than Mobes this year, so I'm gonna go Cat.
I agree with that. I can get behind that.
That's the reason I'm going with.
He'd been better than this year, but yeah.
All right, the last one I got, and I got two bonus ones I want to say. I'll speed through the bonus, but the last one I got for real is: would you rather Evan Mobley or Jalen Johnson?
Mobley.
Evan
Johnson,
Mobley. I don't think it's
however,
close.
Johnson though, I
Okay,
could
wow.
see this year specifically, Mobley's definitely been better. He has higher upside as well. But Jalen Johnson,
You think so?
I just want to.
You think higher upside than Johnson? You think so?
I think so. I think Mobley's a freak.
I do too.
Especially
I think Evan
this
Mobley
year.
is Anthony Davis all over again, but Kevin Garnett.
I think
style.
Mobley, and the numbers will never scream most improved, but he's the type of guy where his numbers could stay stagnant, but it's something every year that his game is picking up. And this year, the numbers have made a leap, of course, a little bit, especially with the three ball.
That's a good one.
I don't know.
That's
Just a big fan. I think when we're talking young stars, guys who are going to take over for the next decade or so, I think he just needs a little bit more love. He's like Trey Murphy of like the bigs. Like Trey Murphy is going to help run the next decade of wings. Like I really do believe that.
I agree too.
Mobley's
Next
kind
week we'll
of
be
like that.
doing a guard edition.
Yeah,
Dyson
that's
Daniels.
right.
Yeah.
Who'd you say?
Dyson Daniels.
Dyson Daniels.
The reason I said Jalen Johnson, I think I would choose Jalen Johnson. The only reason I say is everybody keeps talking about what if Amon had a jump shot. Jalen Johnson doesn't have a jump shot yet, but he shot like 33, 34% while he was around. He was like 18, 10, and 5 with Trae Young on his team.
It's a
That
conversation.
could be terrifying soon.
It's a conversation to be had. I just think Evan Mobley's playing like at the defensive player of the year level alongside of what he's doing.
Yeah. I'm with you on that.
But no, when you put it in that light, I think a conversation could be had. Any of these conversations could be had. I will also say, if I was basing this on upside, Chet included, I'm still taking Mobley. Every single one of these dudes, I'm taking Mobley.
Yeah.
He's
I think
really
the one I was thinking about was
he's
Jalen
moved
Johnson.
mountains this year, bro. He's done miracles on me.
His
Over
off the
Chet,
dribble.
though?
His off the dribble.
Yes, I'm taking him over Chet.
I think Mobley would be able to create off the dribble better than Chet, even at Chet's peak. Because what Mobley's doing this year off the dribble is that's been special. That's helping his Hornets team.
See, people so used to looking at Giannis and KD and Tatum and Vic, and it's like, wow, like you almost don't like, 7-footers or 6'10" guys and up. They don't usually move like that.
Not that fast,
especially
man.
with Mobley's like wingspan. It's like, yeah, that dude, you're not supposed to dribble that way. But
he's quick, dude. He's quick.
We had a bonus one though, right?
Wait, I had two.
Okay, bet.
So, and to be quick, would you rather Evan Mobley or Zion Williamson?
Mobley.
Zion's hardly played though, but he's been so good in his time.
I played 4 minutes.
I gotta go Mobes.
I'm taking Zion Williamson.
I'm taking Evan Mobley. Availability is the best ability.
You're right. And the last one.
Oh, but this
might not be as interesting. You got to think about it though. You thought
that's nasty work.
You thought about it. You did think.
No, sorry. Especially after his triple double, like when he's on the floor, he's great. He's just never is.
And the last one, at least kind of interesting because I know this is Evan Mobley or the Scotty Barnes.
The face of the league. I'm kidding. I'm not gonna do that again.
Scotty Barnes.
Because we talked about Jalen Johnson, we talked about Amon. Scotty's almost at that point, almost, and he still got leaps to grow. I think.
Oh my goodness!
If he wasn't sharing the spotlight with Star J. Barrett, much improved, and Tyrese Maxey variant Emmanuel quickly.
I think I'm going with Scotty Barnes.
Oh, this is so nasty.
Cinema. That's all I'm saying, Danny. That's all I'm saying. It's a conversation.
I think I'm going Scotty Barnes, dude.
It's
I'm
interesting.
gonna go Evan Mobley. I want to go.
Dude, they're both.
You did think. Tell the truth. You thought.
No, dude. I've had to. That's the most I've had to think. I didn't even hesitate picking him over Chet. But that was more of some like an availability thing, and plus he's just flat out been better. But like, dude, Scotty's a beast, man.
They're both
That draft class has my heart. Mobes, Barnes, Suggs, Cade, like
special class, low key. Turned out to be one special.
Yeah,
I threw Scotty Barnes in there. I was gonna put him in there instead of Jalen Johnson. But I'm like, I want to see what y'all think about Jalen Johnson. But yeah, Scotty Barnes was one of my like wild cards. I'm like, I would probably pick Mobley too, low key, but Scotty Barnes. Really good.
Nah, I definitely like that. I definitely like that segment, and I'm excited. I hope Danny has a point guard for us next week, or a shooting guard, or would you rather the anomaly edition? But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, if you're watching this on YouTube, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notifications. If you're listening on audio platforms, leave a like, 5-star review, download the episode, follow the show. From AP New Freezer, coached by Migos DC Comics. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys on hopefully Monday or Tuesday.